What up, party people? I hope this is actually working. Oh, shoot. I guess I should have gone onto Facebook. Everybody know that I'm doing YouTube Live, but whatever. I'll post it later. Maybe people get notifications. I don't know. So, what's up? It's your girl, Jetty from Word Revolution. Been a while. It's been so long, right? Like, since we've done any lives. I hope I get some of y'all that log on that like to kick it with me. Because y'all know I don't like talking to myself. Well, that's not really true. I don't mind talking to myself, but it's kind of cooler when you guys engage me, right? So, Um, I want to talk about something that my house is a mess, y'all. I'm trying to find a spot to be where it's not a disaster. Ooh, I know where to go. I'm going upstairs. Hopefully the internet works nice from up there. So dig it. Um, how's everybody doing? Y'all know I moved. I moved out of PG proper into one of the nearby villages, which is Forest Home. I absolutely love it. Village life is definitely a life for me. But when, hey, whoever just logged on, welcome and thank you for watching. Shoot me a little, drop me a little line and say, hey, it's me, so I know who you are. Mr. Good, peace and blessings to you. So, I'm going up to the hammock, but then I don't know if this noise is going to be too much. Mr. Good, is it too noisy? Can you hear me, or is the machinery too loud? Hold on, I'm great. Yeah, like, how about that? If I speak, can you hear me, or do I need to relocate to somewhere? Oh, he's gone. Oh, boy. Well, guys, I hope that you can, I hope that you can, let me be nice to you guys, and you can't hear me? Is it, the machinery too loud that you can't hear me, or is it like my connection? Oh, yeah, that's loud. That's loud. Oh, you can hear me? Okay. If that, is that machine like overwhelmingly, like irritating in the background? Is that like going to drive people crazy? Do you think? Should I find another location? This is a nice spot up here on the hammock on the upstairs. So I was trying to like really just chill. But talk to me, brother. Is that machine too much? Should I go out front somewhere? I'm good. Word. Thank you. So I want to talk about to thine own self be true, right? So a little history about me. I'm a person who I'm like, let's say I got $5 and I'm rolling with 3 friends and one of them ain't got no money, right? I would be the person to just give them $250 so that they have some money. Just because that's how I roll, right? And like, not nothing weird about it. I just be like, well, here, you ain't got no money, so I got $5 here. Take $250, or maybe I might give them $2 or whatever. Or maybe even in some cases, I'm the kind of person who, let's say, I really didn't have need for the money, right? Like the money's for sodas, and I don't drink soda, and the only thing there to buy is soda. So I'm going to get a $5 to my friend because they drink soda. I don't drink soda, so I don't really need the $5, right? I don't think anything of sharing resources. I've always been, and truth, always been a person who understands group economics. Like, right. So like the way my brother and I explain it is we say, ain't we got one pocket, right? So like if I got $10 in my pocket, then you got $10 in your pocket. What difference does it matter whose pocket it is? It's one pocket because within a context of a certain, I just practice group economics in that way. So I do it, I've always done it on a small scale, right? Like within small groups that I'm in, and very personal, like groups where I'm just like that, right? And so I would say in the last few years, I was blessed with provision that I don't have to work for. I don't have to worry. Blah blah blah. It's very modest provision. I'm not like, like balling, right? But I have modest provision that I don't have to work for that comes very regularly, right? And so for me, that really was like the most exciting thing about that was how it enables me to be able to practice group economics without like the stress, right? Like I can really bless the people that I want to bless. It's like no big deal. Um, so like right now, my rent is 1/10 of my income, right? More or less. It's actually less than a tenth of my monthly income. So, for those of you who know what I spend here, I spend 250 US a month for my house here in Belize, and I get no, it's not. Did I do it right? Yes, yeah, so I get about 3 grand a month in income, right? And I know some people would say that I shouldn't be telling my business online, but whatever. I do these things. I share. I'm very transparent because I want to keep it real enough with y'all that you can actually learn from my experience. If I start being private with information, like I don't want you to know how much I'm making, then you can't make a proper judgment on whether you're 3 grand or you're 9 grand or you're $300. You can't make the kind of comparisons that you need to make in terms of considering getting out and lifestyle changes and all that stuff, right? So living here, where you with me? You with me, brother? So living here has in Belize has really allowed me to practice group economics in a very real way because it costs me so little to live. I am a person who is very aware of the soon collapse of fiat currency, so I don't do a lot of storing up and saving of money because it's going to be useless before you're going to get a chance to spend it. So I kind of liquidate. I like to turn money into real assets, like into real commodities. I'm not like, oh, save this, save that, save this, save that. I'm a person who will go, and I'd rather have 100 trees than $100, right? So if I get $100, I'm likely. Exactly. It doesn't. Well, the thing about money is only when money was made from gold and precious metals did it actually have value. Money is representative of value, right? It represents value, but it doesn't itself have any value. And as such, it's completely useless except in contexts where people do attach that value to it, which is ever decreasing, the value attached to it. So it's ever decreasing in a social context, but it's also ever decreasing because they keep printing this fiat money, but they have no real resources. So at one point it represented value, right? Like a dollar represented a piece of gold somewhere, right? Like a little drop of gold. There was some gold somewhere that the dollar represented, right? But now that's not even true. Like now the dollar is just the dollar and ain't no gold to represent the dollar. They just keep printing dollars and, so they really don't have any value. And so for me, I don't put a lot of, like, I don't have a whole lot of emotional attachment to money and the moving around of money, especially moving through my hands. Like, I will give money away. Everybody knows I give money away, right? I give money away, I give stuff away, whatever. So lately I've had come into my life. I've had some people come into my life that I was in a position to financially bless, right? They like were on some financial hard times. I'm like not in financial hard times. And so I've been able to bless these people. But what's happened is I've kind of gotten a name for being a person who does give away money, right? And so what has happened is people have started to come around, not because they have any interest in connecting with me, but because they hear I give away money, right? And so they hang around long enough to see if I'll start giving them money. And I'm going to be honest, 9 times out of 10, yeah, I will. If you hang around long enough, I'll probably start giving you money. You hang around, you're hungry, I'm probably going to feed you, right? Whether you like me or not, I don't really get into that, right? Like, I don't have to be your favorite person. You don't have to tell me how lovely I am and what a great person and how smart I am and all that. For one thing, I already know how lovely I am, how lovely I'm not, how smart I am, how smart I'm not. So I don't really need that kind of validation from people. So I'm attached to it. A lot of the stuff, like a lot of the strings that are attached to giving, oftentimes, I don't attach those strings, right? So people are like, well, hey, holla, let me go get close to Jetty, get some of her bread, right? So it's fine, whatever, right? Like, I have it to spend, so come help me spend it, whatever, right? So I recently had an experience where I was kicking it with this girl, and she was in great financial need, and we actually were friends. We really developed a real life friendship, but a very large aspect of our relationship was me providing for her in financial ways, right? Like I supported her financially in a really big way. Um, that was a big part of our relationship, but it wasn't the bulk of our relationship. We just really just generally have a blast together. She's crazy, I'm crazy, it's whatever. So, and then there are some other situations, right, where like I would say within the last year, with relationships where people have come into my life, we've dealt with one another on whatever level, but big part of that relationship has been me sharing, um, resources, right? And so I was talking to a friend about it because, like, the one friend who I had been supporting kind of got on her feet a little bit, right? And when she got on her feet, she kind of gave me her ass to kiss, right? Excuse my French. She gave me her behind to kiss, right? Like now she's like walk down the street and pretend she don't even see me type of thing, right? So whatever, I'm not a child. I'll be 46 in a couple of weeks. So like I'm hard pressed to cry over like people leaving my life or relationships changing and things like that. Like I do not lose no lot of sleep over that kind of stuff. But it wasn't hurtful because it was like word, beautiful. Yeah, so like but it was hurtful, right? Because I felt like this person, she and I really were actually friends, right? She was a friend that I was supporting. She wasn't like a random person who I was financially supporting just because I could. She was someone I was financially supporting, but she was also my friend. So it did kind of suck to have the reality that no, she's only really interacting because she needs the support. And at the point when she felt like she didn't really need the support, then I was irrelevant to her, right? And so that hurt a little bit. And so a mutual friend of ours was talking to me about it and was like, well, you know what you need to do, because everybody comes to you, everybody tries to get down with you because they know you give away money and like you handle money like it's no big deal, like money's no object. And so they're like, well, it's no object, so we're going to take it, right? And so what they were advising me was that I should be, that I shouldn't conduct myself how I do. What I should do is pretend to be poor, right? Like pretend I don't have it, pretend I don't have any to spare, right? Like I should be like poor, right? I shouldn't walk around. I shouldn't be the person that everybody knows that they can come to if they need, bus fare to get to the doctor or this or that, this. Like because I so freely give, everybody thinks I have it to give, so they don't mind taking advantage of me. And so therefore, this person presented to me that in order to prevent that from happening, what I should do is present myself as if I don't have it to give, as if I don't have the level of abundance that I have, that, like I ain't got it. I should be on the I ain't got it crew, right? Like, nah, I ain't got it. I ain't got it. And so I've been really wrestling with that, right? Because, like, my dad, rest in power, brother. My dad was really intentional about some of the things that he taught us. And he used to use this example when people would come to our house about how we lived in a house. Like we never had a lock on our door. Not we never locked the door. We didn't even have a lock on the door. There was no lock, right? So making them work for it is something that I do sometimes. And not making them work for it, but opening opportunities whereby people can earn money. Yes, I absolutely do that. But everybody is not in a position to do that. And like sometimes you just like it's okay to give without somebody working for it. Like the earth doesn't make me work for it. I can go, there's a banana tree over there right now bearing bananas. I didn't work for that. The earth just gave it. Why? Because that's what the earth does, right? She gives bountifully. And yes, if you work with the earth, you can, like I can cultivate bananas and get lots and lots and lots of bananas, right? I could become a banana farmer, which would be me working for the banana. But the fact is the earth's going to produce a banana whether I work for it or not. right? And so that's really how I operate, right? Like I'm going to give you a thing whether you work for it or not. But if you want to work for it, okay, cool. I'll give you a little job, a little scratch, whatever, right? So, um, so this idea though, like the more I've sat with it, and it's been a few days I've been sitting with this thing. Like the more I sat with it, the more I realized how offensive it is to my spirit to consider that. No, let's back it back up to my dad, right? So my dad, people would come to our house and like never leave, right? Like they would just come in and they just live there, right? They come to check us out for the weekend, and then 4 or 5 years later they're moving out, kind of thing. And when people would come, my dad would express the way we were living there, and like what he would say is like, look, we don't have locks on the doors. If I put $5 down on the table, I fully expect that it's going to be there when I come back, no matter how many people come through the house. Like the $5 is going to be there, right? And so in some cultures and in some households, like if you leave $5 on the table, you're stupid and you deserve to have it stolen. I think that's legitimately the way that people feel, right? If I were to, like if someone were to come and rob my house tonight, like let's say I go into town, we're all in town, and somebody comes and robs my house. And like people would say, oh my God, did you leave your door unlocked? Yeah. Well, then you deserve it. Then you asked for it, right? And like that's like a certain mindset, right? A certain mindset says that you're more wrong to leave $5 on the table than to take the $5, right? And like my dad would always be like, listen, in this house, the person who leaves the $5 unattended is not wrong. The person who touches the $5 is wrong, right? Whether it's $5, $500, ice cream in the freezer, whatever, right? Diamond ring, whatever, it doesn't matter, right? Like I put the thing down, there is absolutely no acceptance of what's wrong to say, friend. What are you saying is wrong to say? That you're like, I deserve it, you're saying is wrong to say? Because that's really legit like how people feel, right? Like if you don't lock your car and somebody steals your phone charger out of your car and you tell people, oh my God, somebody stole a phone charger out of my car. They say, you ain't lock your car doors? Like, no, I don't lock my car door. Oh, well, then you asked for it. Well, what did you think? Right? So that's the culture. That's what we think. So what we've done in the normalizing of that is we've made it so that thievery is more acceptable than trust, right? Like it's more acceptable culturally to be a thief than it is to be a person who leaves your door unlocked. Right, the person that leaves the $5 on the table and expects to come back and find it, that like there's nothing wrong with having that expectation that the people around you are not going to steal your $5. But how many family cultures have that? How many communities have that value system? Very, 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 very few, right? And like, while a lot of people might hear this and like on a cerebral level would say that they understand, I guarantee you in practice, most people would essentially operate under the belief that it's more wrong to leave your door open. I am more of a fool to leave my door open than I would be a fool to go into a house with the door open and steal something, right? Like they could more readily excuse and understand and accept going into a house where the door was left open and stealing than they would leaving open the door, right? And so this friend of mine was advising me to like lock my, don't walk around with cash on me. That way when people ask, I really don't have it. Don't tell people stuff like I just told you guys. Like, look, I spend 1/10 of my income on rent. I can really afford to help some people. You know what I mean? Like, don't say that, right? Don't tell people that. Make people think I'm like struggling or like it's tight, money's tight and I don't have it. And it hurts me that, and this is a good, well-meaning, bright and beautiful individual that advised me this way, right? And looking out for me, really trying to look out for me, really trying to school me like, Jetty, I don't want to see you get taken advantage of anymore, right? Like, I need you to stop being so trusting and generous. Like, since when are trusting and generous aspects of our nature that we should learn not to be like? Right? Like, what? Right? Don't be so trusting. Don't be so generous. Don't be so free to help people. Like, this is the talk I got, right? And I've gotten this talk lots of times in my life. I can't even count how many times I've gotten this talk. And I challenge the children of the Most High. I can't speak for whoever you serve and whatever gods y'all worship and this and that and that and this, brother who's watching, and I really appreciate you watching and being interactive with me. But yeah, like I can't speak for people who don't serve the Most High, right? But for those of us who serve the Most High, we are not called to remove from our character things like generosity, things like compassion, things like being trusting. Like, we're not called to become hardened in our hearts for sake of holding on to things like money. Like, I know that the world says that is wisdom, but we are in the age where good is called evil and evil is called good, right? And so when I say to thine own self be true, we have to really know how to reject those things that people impose upon us as flaws in our character that are not flaws in our character. I cannot say how many times I have looked on Facebook and I've seen somebody say stuff like, I don't trust nobody but me, number one. I'm the only one I really trust. And then you get 5,000 amen. I know that's right. That's right. Amen, amen, amen. The devil. Okay? That's wickedness. That's foolishness. It's nonsense. Like, what do you mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, or I'm going to learn to stop being so nice to motherfuckers. Excuse my French. I'm going to start treating people how they treat me, right? I'm going to stop being so nice. I'm going to stop being so giving. And people, yeah, girl, you got to quit that. You can't. The devil. Like the literal devil. That's the literal devil that would speak up and tell you to not be generous. That would speak up and tell you to stop being kind because other people aren't kind. Right? I mean, I ain't making this up. This is real life. I'm grown around here. We talk grown folk talk around here, right? Like, it's crazy to me, right? So I call to the children of the Most High to walk in your truest, highest self, right? The word tells us we are gods, right? Made in the image of the divine. What is the character and the nature of the divine? The character and nature of the divine is so generous that he does not withhold oxygen even from the wicked. That the sun comes up. Word, blessed. Yeah, I love our people, man. I love our people. I love people in general, but I love our people especially, right? So, like, we have to stop ascribing to these mentalities and ideologies that isolate us and make us, because the thing is, like, one would think that I am the one who's vulnerable because I leave my door open, but the person who is so afraid of getting something stolen that they have like 5 locks on their door is actually more vulnerable, because they are so isolated that they're the only person they can trust, right? They're the only person they can trust. And that's not how we're called to live. We're called to live as one. You know how good and how sweet it is when brothers and sisters can dwell together in unity. It's like the anointing oil rolling down the beard of Aaron, right? It's like that beautiful when we can dwell together in unity. How can we dwell together in unity if we're running around telling each other to stop giving each other money for buses and paying each other's electric bills and giving each other cars. Like I hear people say all the time, ain't nobody going to give you nothing in this life. That is a lie. The devil is a lie. I've had people give me cars. I've lived in homes for like beautiful homes, like ain't paid rent in 8 months type of thing, right? Like what I know is if you walk in the truth and the integrity of how the Most High created you in his image, those things about us that are like the Most High. And I'm not here to sing that mamby-pamby good guy stuff that like you have to do this like polite thing to be like the Most High, because let's not forget the strong right arm, right? Let's not forget that he is the Lord of hosts, right? He has armies that will wreck house, right? An angel will take out 10,000, 100,000 in one blow, right? That's the Most High as well. But the question is, what is the intent and the purpose behind the act, right? Because if 10,000 would contaminate 1 million, that 10,000 got to go, right? Why? Because of the compassion for the 1 million, not because we just like to slaughter, but because we would preserve the million, right? Or if that 10,000 are in error and there's only one left who is in righteousness, that 10,000 got to go. You feel me? So I'm not on that mamby-pamby, like white Jesus type of time where if you pick up a sword, now they want to call you the devil. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about look in your character. Hello to whoever just joined. Welcome. Please say hello to me and Brother Good here as we've been kicking it. But like, you have to look at the nature and the character of the Most High. And you're not going to learn the nature and the character of the Most High from these churches, y'all. And I'm not a church hater. Nobody did church life like me. Ask about my church life. I loved church. I was in church all the time. And I'm not one of them people that left with church hurt. The folks at church, I mean, you know, people are people. People going to do what they're going to do. But I left my experiences in church were beautiful, grand, fabulous, and wonderful, right? But, hey, I'm doing a live video. Can I talk to you? What time is it now?
Right now it's 3:30.
Okay.
All right, I'll be back out there 4:30.
Okay, that's beautiful. Bless. Sorry about that, y'all. So, oh gosh, now I lost my train of thought, y'all. The blood. So, just at the end of the day, you know, what's called for in this time is that, oh, I was talking about church life, right? And like, so I'm not like on some church hurt out here bashing the church and this and that, but I know the synagogue of Satan when I see it, right? And the fact is, if you, in order to be a registered, you know, like a legal church and all that, right? That's right. Love thy brother. That's right. Like in order to be an ordained preacher, you got to agree to preach certain stuff, right? Like that's just the facts. And I'm going to tell you that the stuff that they have you agree to preach, all that training and things that they give you when you go for your master's and your doctorate in divinity, this and that and that and this, they're teaching the character of the Most High out of us as a people, right? First of all, let's deal with this, right? Y'all know I be all over the place. I'd be like, I say I'm going to talk about one thing, we end up talking about 99 different things. But let's deal with this, right? Let's deal with, don't go to no church that ain't telling you that Yeshua, and I know they like to call him Jesus, whatever they want to call him. If the picture of him in the church, first of all, shouldn't be no picture of him in the church because the Most High clearly had done said to us, don't do that, right? But if they don't say, listen, this here Bible is an African story about African people and a very African spirituality, culture, and God, get up out of there because the foundation is lies. The foundation is lies, right? So in order to be an ordained minister, you have to go through the system, and the system is going to now teach you all the lies, right? And they're going to take all of the mystery and all of the power out of it and make you an impotent for, that's just, right? And especially in an American context, right? That's just the facts. You don't like it, I'm sorry. If it hurts, say ouch. like I said, we grown around here. Well, I don't, look, it is what it is, right? So when you're looking inside of yourself and you're looking at the character of the Most High God, and you are lining yourself up with that character, you are going to have to close your ears to these philosophies of the world. And a lot of them are coming from the pulpits. You know, one of the things I talk about, I think I talked about on one of my videos, was like this concept of singleness that's coming from the church. That like you're supposed to be single and dedicate yourself to the Most High. And like if somebody look over to you and think you look good in things, that's the devil. That's the lust spirit. You got a lust demon on you. Let's talk about commandments. The first commandment was to be fruitful, multiply. First commandment, first thing we was told to do. Very, 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 very first. Okay, listen here, right? Adam, Eve, go get you're going to like each other. Go get to know each other. Make you some babies. That was the first commandment. Mind you, not to get married, because that is marriage. Not Adam and Eve. Here's what I need you to do. Go find a judge and see if he will give legal license to you to cohabitate and blah, blah, blah. No. Right? That's not what it said. I know this is going to shake people up and you're going to say that I'm like teaching whoredom and all this and that, but I ain't on that type of time. Let's just keep it real. Right? So, but the church is full of single people and they have 1,000,001 reasons why they should stay single until something comes out of heaven and forces them to suddenly be married to someone who they have no attraction for and has no attraction to them, because God forbid the person have attraction to you. You have to run from them like it's hellfire on your heels, because that's a lust demon. If you dare like the way the opposite sex looks in whatever how they look and things like that. Like, it's absurd, these things that have seeped into the church and are ravaging our people and leaving us ever more vulnerable to the enemy. And then we call ourselves the children of the Most High God, but we can't discern and identify where the lies are. And so we're constantly lining ourselves up to the world. And what happens is, because the world is ravenous and we take a beating, then that becomes our excuse for it, right? I ain't trusting nobody no more. The last person I did good for, I did this for, I did that for, and that hussy don't even speak to me. Now she walk around like I'm the bad guy. Exactly, Mr. Good. Right? Like, we're living, the funny thing is, like, the enemy don't have to do the work no more to keep us captive. Most of us, the door is wide open and we won't step out of captivity. We won't, because we love the things of the world. We love the way that the world feeds our ego. We love the way that the world gives us permission to indulge gluttony and greed and things like that, right? Like the concept of Planned Parenthood. I know I'm going to step on some toes. Oh, well, deal with it. The concept of Planned Parenthood, that you should like only have as many children as you can, quote unquote, afford, right? So what does that mean? It means Donald Trump should have 50, 100 children. And a sister like me shouldn't have had none. Because I'm here to tell you, I couldn't afford none when they was born. I couldn't have afforded the hospital bill in the States to have none. Okay? So by that kind of logic, that's how that would go, right? So here you have righteous people who don't seek after the riches of the world, are convinced that they have no right to procreate, right? They have no right to procreate because they can't afford the children. But what does the Most High say? It says that the children are the inheritance, that they're the blessing. So how can you tell me I can't afford my own blessing, right? And that I should temper my blessing. I should have as few blessings as possible because the world doesn't approve. And because somebody convinced somebody somewhere that the world doesn't have enough abundance to feed them. Well, it's not my job. The Most High said, be fruitful. Look at all this fruitfulness. Look at the fruitfulness. Look, that's banana trees right there that we're looking at. That's banana trees. They just are growing. Coconut trees over there. Look at all that fruitfulness. You're going to tell me that the earth can't make enough bananas to feed as many babies as I can have in a lifetime? It's absurd, right? It's absurd. But we have these, we are so caught up in the world that we're being ravaged, and we're ravaging one another, and we're calling it help, right? So like when I'm like, wow, that's deep, the sister really just walked by like she didn't even see me. And I know this sister, she don't miss nothing. Nothing. You hear me? I call her a spy because she don't never miss nothing. So I know she's seen me, right? And she just know I was talking about her on YouTube, but she knows that's what I do anyway. So, she'll deal with it. But like, she don't miss nothing. So she didn't miss me. She did not see me. So rather than when I'm like all feeling like, dang, that kind of hurt, right? The sister did me kind of like, well, right? Rather than come and say, well, Jetty, you know what? That's okay. Your blessing is in the giving. Your blessing is in loving her. Just, just move on and bless the next person. Rather than get that kind of advice, I'm going to get tons of people that's going to be like, that's why I don't give nobody nothing. That's why you the dummy, right? Like what? I don't know. Like come on, people. Get to know the Most High for yourself. How do you do that? Well, he already talks about how you can't love him and hate your neighbor, right? Can't love him and hate your neighbor. So what is that telling you? It tells you that the Most High is us. The Most High is manifest in people. So if you want to know the Most High, get to know people. And if you want to know the higher self, the Most High, do the internal work to find out what your true God-given nature is. And sift it from those things that the world has imposed upon you. Because you were not created. You were not created in the image of the enemy. You were created in the image of the Most High. So find your authentic self so that you can most truly represent the Most High. Right? And learn to discern between things that come from the world and things that come from spirit, from divine spirit. We have to learn to discern them. We can't be so anxious for approval and ego stroking and fame and fortune and popularity and wealth. And we can't be so anxious for these things that we are willing to start cutting away the aspects of us that are like the divine, because I'm a ratchet hot mess. If anybody here knows me, you know I'm a ratchet hot mess. And it is a whole entire sin. Yo, my phone's gonna die. We gotta go downstairs where there's power. It is a whole entire sin for anybody to ever suggest that I be less unratchet, like the two little things about me that are not a ratchet hot mess. Like, okay, I cuss people out. I'm this, I'm that. There's a lot of stuff about me that ain't super like holy and clean and righteous, right? I'm on a 21-day consecration. My whole family got the consecration. Even the little one that you just seen in the video, she on consecration because we a ratchet hot mess. And I done passed that stuff on to all these kids and stuff, ratchetness. We just a mess. And so like how you walk up on a person like me, you see the one little thing that I do that does represent and does manifest and demonstrate divinity, like giving freely. I don't care. You ain't got to like me. You ain't got to love me. You ain't got to pay me back. You ain't got to nothing. If you need a sandwich, I'll just give you a sandwich. Like, you going to talk me out of the one little aspect of myself, my one saving grace? You want to talk me out of it? Because someone else's way that they're ratchet just so happens to take advantage of the way that I'm not? Like, people, brothers and sisters, we must do better. We can't do that like that. That's not going to work. The Most High is not going to approve of that kind of stuff. And these times, time is short. These are indeed the last days, and we don't have no lot of time to be playing around with this stuff, right? I don't know what you're still. Are y'all still there? Are y'all still there? I don't know what is happening here. I don't know. Somebody give me a thumbs up if this video is still going, because it just did something weird on the phone. I don't know. Well, at any rate, That's what I want to talk about. To thine own self be true, right? Oh, word, we're still going. We're still going. Beautiful. So, get to know the Most High's character. Find those aspects of yourself and build them up no matter what people in the world say, no matter how much they take advantage of you, no matter how much they persecute you. Trust me, that one little raggedy aspect of yourself that is like the divine, that has not been overwhelmed by the world, they're going to come for even that, man. They're going to come for even that. And we have to, and a lot of people don't even, it's not like they have a bad intention. They believe that it's good advice to tell someone to stop being generous, right? They believe it's good advice. But it's not, family. It's not, So that's all, I wanted to keep it under 30 minutes. I'm trying to learn to just drop what I'm trying to say and not be so distracted and waste so much time. I really appreciate you, Brother Good, for tuning in, And I'm going to try to do a few of these a week because I know the people are saying to me, Jetty, we miss you, Jetty, we miss you. Please keep talking to us, keep sharing. And so, the Most High says, if you love me, feed my sheep. So if you all are being fed, then I will continue to feed because, like I said, I am, generous like that about some aspects of life. And so I'm just glad to be back. I'm glad to, have this moment with you guys. So I hope that blessed somebody. And, like, share if you feel like it, what have you, everything ain't for everybody. So I'm not trying to get famous and rich and all that there. I'm already as wealthy as you can get. So, what can I say? I mean, the earth just, feeds me bananas and things. So I don't want for a lot. So I'm not here for all that. I'm just here. If somebody was blessed by it, beautiful. If not, too bad for